My name is Chase Gabbard. This will serve as speech 2 of 3 for COM 181. One thing I have learned as my 4 years of high school are coming to an end is that college is the only route after high school is a myth. We are drilled from the time we start school in kindergarten that the only choice after we graduate is college. If you want to get a good education, just think about it. From our childhood, we get asked the age-old question, what do you want to do when you grow up? As we get older, the question turns into, what are you going to college for? Then once your senior year approaches, you get asked by family, friends, parents' friends, random people at the supermarket, and basically anywhere, where are you going to college? Then if you respond with, I don't know yet, or I'm not going to college, you get that judgmental look we all know too well. You see, there's an unhealthy stigma now that convinces students they aren't going to succeed unless they attend college immediately after high school. There are many reasons why this stigma is unhealthy and false. Students can feel so pressured that they result in going to college out of guilt or to please everyone else, which takes a toll on their mental, emotional, and sometimes physical health. They can be rushed into picking a college or major they do not even like. Other options students have other than college is that they can go to trade school, take a gap year, or go straight into the labor force or even the military. First off, let's talk about the strain being forced into college puts on the student mentally, emotionally, physically. Senior year of high school is stressful enough as it is. By the time it is over, we are already tired and done enough as it is. We just want to break from all the stress and constant headaches. I know I, myself, as well as many of my friends, have felt the same way. When you go to college, it just gets worse. Some have very bad testing anxiety, which is the reason they may resort to taking a different path. Oftentimes, many students who are pressured into going to college feel even more pressure to live up what their parents or those around them expect them to be. This is detrimental to their mental health because it causes them to suppress the way they feel about the way they want for their own lives in their most impressionable years. Throughout college, I have known for some people I used to go to school with to develop anxiety because their emotional health has gone down and they know if college was the right path for them. Also, students can develop serious eating disorders such as anorexia, bulimia, and binge eating. Some may not have enough money to continue their meal plan without going into more debt. Some may feel as they don't look good enough, and some may eat excessive amounts out of the stress they are put under. This can be solved if students were made more aware they do have other options after high school on the road to success. One option that students have after high school is a trade school. At a trade school, you can learn hands-on. This is beneficial for people who want to be mechanics, electricians, construction workers, etc. In most trade schools, you don't have to go through the hoops of a bunch of gen eds and classes you don't want or need for what you want to do. Also, you get to work directly and hands-on with your career. Trade schools use more than just tests and quizzes. They offer you the preparation you need in order to enter the job force immediately after you leave trade school, without the struggle of searching for a job to match your major after college. Trade schools are also not as long as going to college. Most people go to college for 4 to 12 years, while most trade schools are 2 years. With trade schools, you can also have great apprenticeship or internship opportunities. You can sometimes get hired over people with a college degree because you actually have experience in the work field through trade school and didn't just learn about it in class. Whether these internships and apprenticeships are paid or unpaid, they provide you with an unadmirable addition to your resume when you decide to look for a job. Another option that has a negative stigma around it but can be beneficial is taking a gap year. Whether students tell people they are taking a gap year, they tend to get a disapproving response. People assume that anytime someone wants to take a gap year, it is because they are lazy, unmotivated, or rebellious. However, this is not the case at all. Most college students take a gap year for beneficial reasons. One of the most popular reasons to take a gap year is to travel. This is actually very valuable for your young, fresh out of high school students. It allows for them to experience more in the world around them than the same country or state they have been in for years. It is healthy for us to experience other areas, people, and cultures. Traveling in the gap year can allow the student to find themselves or clear their mind, because the essence of change can help develop the mind and help people to grow. A gap year can also give students a chance to de-stress. Even if they don't travel, staying home and simply taking a year off can help a once struggling high school student escape all of the mental health stresses that high school planted in them. Sometimes the rush of going straight from school to more school to more school can be an actual hindrance on students. Giving yourself a gap year can also give yourself time to heal and recover from anything you may need to take a break from. Lastly, and probably the most reasonable and responsible for others to understand, will be taking a gap year in order to save money for starting college. This, I believe, is an admirable reason to take a year off from going to school. Saving yourself the stress of taking out large loans can prevent you from redeveloping those same high school stress symptoms that you may have had. You can feel more prepared and well established if you have the chance to save up money before college. Another option for students who don't want to go to college is going straight into the labor force. We have placed that stigma that there is nothing for a graduate to do out of high school if they do not go to college. We make them think that they will wind up working at McDonald's the rest of their life. This is not true. Even I know some of my parents' friends who did not go to college and entered the labor force immediately after graduating, who make great money and are successful. There are lots of good paying factory jobs with a good pay growth, benefits, and sustainability. For example, places like Toyota, Amazon, and UPS are all good wage paying jobs. Toyota and UPS even offer a college assistant program, which means that if you work for them through college, that they will pay for your tuition. This is the great benefactor people as also prospective students to take their year off. Make people and be able to go back to college while saving money and still making it. As mentioned earlier with trade school options, people can go to trade schools for things like mechanics, construction, and technical or electrical work. If trade school isn't your thing, you can still do these without trade school. Construction sites can always use help and train new people to work on the job site. Everyone always needs mechanics, electricians, and technicians, so jobs in those fields are sure to always be in demand. Lastly, another very commendable and admirable path to take after high school is going straight into the military. There are many different branches: Air Force, Army, Navy, Marine Corps, and Coast Guard. Between all of these, you can find something that interests you in one branch, whether that is being on land, in the water, in air, working in fields, or even technology. The military even has jobs for people to do what they want, like marine life, law students, doctors, and much more. Not only is a student who chooses to take the military path honorable, serving themselves for their country, but they are learning an immense amount of responsibility, selflessness, and intelligence as they grow into adulthood. Just like Toyota and UPS, the military has various college programs for people to be in the military and get an education at the same time. The military has its own set of schooling or training for people to go through when they become a part of various programs in their branch. These not only give students important lifelong skills, but it also teaches them about hard work, even if it isn't the job they necessarily wanted. For example, the kid that graduated from my school last year is on his first year in the Air Force. He has 33 credit hours already toward a criminal justice degree. Pretty much everyone who goes through a tech school like this will come out with a lot of hours to go towards their future college career. The only exception is for people who are employed as janitors or mechanics, as this is the same as the trade schools I mentioned earlier. With the military, it is okay if someone does not choose to go to college once they leave, as they can just continue to serve or work for the military somewhere at one or the various branches around the country. So if college isn't for you at all, but you want to do something admirable, you can choose the military. Add in all, college isn't for everybody, and there is nothing wrong with that. We need to demolish the negative stigma that is placed on students if they don't want to go to college, and remove the constant force to make people go to college. As you can see, there are many other options that result in a happy, successful life that don't involve college. Raising more awareness for the stress and negatives developed on mental, emotional, and physical health of the overstressed students in the decision of what to do after high school. With a trade school, gap year, labor force, or military, you are sure to find what is just right for you, even if it's not college.